his curve styles are normally 19 degrees, but I'm gonna try and verify that.
It's probably, I'm using an Arkansas whetstone, and it's probably whatever I felt like at the time.
Okay. Well, I can kind of see what it is, and I can take it back to this sort of factory. Normally it's 19. So I'm going to just color in the bevel here with the marker, and then I'll compare how the stone takes the marker off to see if I want to move it in or out to match it. So, just take a fine stone and rub it just a little bit. And for the most part, it's hitting it right on. It's a little different up here at the tip where I can see you've kind of rounded it over time in your motion.
I've never figured out exactly how to do that with regular flat squares.
Okay. I think
that's what that does, and that gets.
I can hit the edge. I can do a little bit of work and just restore it to 19 if you want.
And so
or I can kind of go out a little wider. 19. Okay. What I'm gonna do is
that's
grab my 100 grit stones, and I'll just do alternating strokes like this.
Hey!
Banner.
If I can get you money, let me use my banner.
Give me the blue book.
So basically right now, you're just making it consistent again.
Exactly. I'm cutting new bevels into it to make sure they reach all the way to the edge. Both sides 19 degrees. The way it's been done hand sharpening, this side was a lot more narrow and this side was a lot wider. So that's pretty common because it's easy to do it in one way and not so much the other way.
Right.
So what I'm trying to do is flatten it out and correct all that. It'll take a minute or two more of doing. And these coarse diamond stairs are pretty aggressive. They can work pretty fast.
No, he's doing both.
That's for the here.
Okay. My edge was real narrow.
We do with some of the banners.
And then I just check for a burr to see if I've gotten all the way to the edge with it. And as soon as I feel that burr, I know that bevel's coming all the way out to the edge.
That's why you
Okay. So like I've got the CRKT that it's a
spring-loaded guy on the little post.
No, it's the little it's a flat on one side, and it's got a Tanto blade, but it's got
you mean the knife? Okay.
Yes, the knife.
Yeah.
And with this, all I'd have to do is use one side to re-sharpen that one.
Pretty much, yeah. You just work the one side. At the very end, you'll want to knock that burr off on the flat side, and you can just take a stone and just flat against it to knock the burr off.
Okay.
Yeah. That's called a chisel ground.
This is one of our we give them pictures, all the groups, all the squads.
How do you know what the green setup at?
Well, I'm kind of lucky that I've done so many that most manufacturers I kind of know what they do. But there's a really easy trick with a marker where you just color in the bevels, make a few passes, and you see where it's taking the marker off. And if it's only on the shoulder, you know you're in too tight, and if it's on the edge, you're out too far. So you just adjust it until it takes all the marker off. So it's real easy. It takes just a second to figure it out. Yeah, you bet.
That's the level.
Yeah, this one.
How much does a system like this run?
The basic kit is $275, and then the
Is how much?
$275.
Okay.
And then our Pro kit's $410, and then we've got a show special on that for $390. Alright, so I got it to where both bevels are meeting now. All the markers gone, both bevels are meeting. And so now I'm just polishing out the scratches from the cutting marks. So I just switch to 200 grit by rolling over like that. And I just start, it's just like sanding wood, I just cycle through the different grits and bring the polish level up. And I'm done with the 200s, onto the 400 grit.
I use this guy, and I can send you an email back regarding
Hey, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
up at a custom knife show in Denver. Isn't that cool? The guy behind me, his son made it. I saw this. This kind of happens.
Yeah.
All right.
Actually, it wasn't that bad. It was just the edges weren't correct. For one side was bigger than the other, and not quite the right angle. From just me doing it on whetstone.
Alright, so now I've basically used the whole basic kit with it, and you can kind of see what that edge is like. But you can test it if you want to. Just be careful. So that's resetting it to a good, perfect 19 degrees on each side, and then up to the 600 grit, which we call it good working.
Can you do that one?
Let me just no. They're serrated now. I can remove them for you.
I don't know.
Yeah, he's got some 50 and 80.
Yeah, I can take those right out.
Rip those right off real quick.
We do this one though.
Do you?
Yeah, so the karambit's no problem.
It's the serrated we can't do.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, if you look at the circle that this makes, and you imagine what that radius is, it's a pretty big radius, and our flat stones fit in there pretty well. If it gets real tight, then we've got some stones that are made for that, and they've just got a slight radius to them, and that allows them to fit inside tighter curves. But even something like this, you don't even need these guys.
So the 275, does that come with all these?
It comes with the 100, 200 pair and the 400, 600 pair. So basically everything I've used so far is what's in the basic kit. And then I'm going to take it on to the pro kit now and just give you kind of a before and after of that. But stopping at 600 grit is an awesome edge. I mean, it's a great working edge right there. And then if you're a fanatic, then you can go further. But
Selling any of them today?
we are taking orders today and shipping at the 1st of March. So our biggest problem that we've had since we started is just keeping up. And I think we're on our 3rd back order since the 1st of the year.
Yeah. You get paperwork? Have a good one. You get paperwork?
I've been lusting over this thing on ProMotive ever since it came up.
Oh, cool. Yeah, ProMotive's a great site.
I didn't know this was the system that JB bought.
We're not a very big business. I mean, what do you got to
JB's got one.
stipulations on it, I guess?
And now everybody on YouTube's going to know about it.
So I'm on the 1000 grit now.
See, as coordinated as I am, I would probably be cutting my wrist about now.
For you, then, I would say use this motion.
The Kevlar arm shields.
Exactly.
Accessory.
The up and away motion.
No, almost all of mine is serrated.
Yeah, we're going to have a tool coming out.
That's what the young lady said.
Yeah, and I can't tell you a whole lot about it yet, except for that it's awesome. It's really a cool deal, and I'm super excited to get it out there to the world because it solves the problem that people have with serrations. And I originally thought about doing some of the triangle-shaped ones, the small radius, but every serration pattern is different, and you get in there with those, you start filing, you start changing things, and it just throws me crazy. So ours doesn't change the serration pattern at all. It just gets in there and cleans it up. So I'm on the leather strops now. These are leather strops like old barber would use with a little bit of diamond paste. Paste on this side is 5 microns, and on the other side is 3.5 microns.
So that's the leather strap like what they used to do with the razors.
Exactly. And I can't believe what it does for a knife. It's the darndest thing how quickly the leather transforms the edge into from great to spectacular. I mean, it's just wild how well it
finish on it right now.
So what does the leather do? Does it collapse enough to where it takes that any kind of angle or rollover and levels it out?
Okay, so that's part of it. It does a great job of honing like that, and because it's it's a pliable substrate, it does just that. It just sort of stands that last wire edge up. But then it's got a micro abrasive, so it's slowly wearing that away to where you just have the two planes coming together and no wire edge, which gives you a lot more durability. And then it has a freaky ability that most the no abrasives have it, and it can do a process called burnishing, which is like a plastic deformation of the metal surface, where it's just shifting the molecules on the surface around, like smearing them. Only a real hard metal with a lot of pressure can do that, but the leather does it. So it's a really cool effect, and you can't really get it with any other material.
I'm so bummed. I'm gonna have to get one. Well, it sucks because all of my kitchen knives, you get just the wrong edge on it, and it's like you go to cut a tomato and you end up with crushed tomatoes and not sliced.
What do you think?
On leather?
That is amazing.
Yeah, set.
Okay, so the diamonds are really easy to maintenance.
You got a bald spot on your arm now. You know that, right?
Yep.
A huge bald spot.
Yep.
You can see my hands are getting dirty, and these are getting dirty.
I've been waiting for that for a while.
Just brush in a little bit of soapy water, then I'll scrub them off, and I'll pat them dry, and I'll stand them up like that, which is really dry, air dry, because it's steel and nickel and it won't rust if you leave it in standing water. But that's it on the diamonds. That's all you really do. And then on the ceramic ones, and when they start to get dirty and fouled up, you can just take like a little kid's eraser and clean with that, and it really, it's a great trick.
So you're actually using just diamond in leather, you're not using a stone or anything?
When we get into some of the high-end culinary guys, we're using water stones, synthetic water stones. We've got a full line of nano stones, and then we're starting carrying the shafted pros also. And so those are, you have to soak them, you have to flatten them periodically. They're